Recording is in progress. So I mentioned that I was feeling scrambled, and there's a lot of just like internal and then external in my little world that's going on that's crazy. But then also just in our world in general, there's so much that we're aware of that's going on. I think in the world there's always been hard things, but we have this incredible ability now to be much more aware of these things and much more affected by them. And so I'm finding that it's important for me to acknowledge that and acknowledge that I don't really have capacity to hold all of it and to feel all of it. And so that's a moment for me to turn to Jesus. You're like, oh, these things hurt so much. There's so much pain and there's so much sorrow and suffering. So I invite you to just tune into maybe what you've taken in lately, what you're aware of that maybe feels weighty or heavy, and just feel that in your body, in your mind, your spirit, your emotions. And maybe you start to tune into your breath and allow on your exhale anything to flow out on that breath. Maybe you notice places in your body that are holding tension. And maybe you just notice them. You're just like, hey, wow, yeah, I feel you. I feel you tension in my neck, my throat. And oh, maybe that's some grief or anger or whatever it is for you. That's often where mine shows up. And I invite you to breathe that prana, that light of Christ, into those spaces and see what happens. Just allowing them to be and to flow through you and process in a way that feels good and healing and right for you. Just a few more breaths here. Just checking in. And maybe things are coming up and you're like, okay, I'm going to go journal and cry on my bed or whatever it is. Or maybe it's, I'm going to set this aside. You engaging with what you're feeling in whatever way feels best for you. But I invite you to practice making space for and inviting that light of Christ that flows in on our breath, that life energy. Inviting that to be more a part of your experience, more a part of your body, our incredible body that we have. And then if you want to join, we'll tune in with an aum. So I like to think of it as A-O-M, aum, 3-ish sounds. And I like to engage my hands and arms, really extending through, opening up. We'll do 3 of these. Inhaling. Then O is here. O. Is here as we're coming inside. So we're connecting with the outer experience, then bringing it inward into our outer experience that's more personal, and then into our deep core. So we'll do 3 of these. Inhaling. And I invite you to just notice and take in, receive whatever it is that you feel or experience, the sacred medicine of your own voice connecting with the sounds of the universe, the vibrations of the universe. So as you're breathing here, maybe you start to feel your body wanting to move in a way that is healing and delicious for you. And I invite you to listen to that and engage in that experience with your intuition, your body's knowing, and yourself responding. And maybe you mute me, or you have another device where you have music that feels good to play. We'll spend some time here, and then at the end, we'll just do some guided imagery meditation. If you're not sure where to begin, maybe we start with some side to sides, inhaling, lifting up, and then coming to one side, stretching over, pressing your hip down, whichever side, whichever arm is up, really lengthening that side, engaging your whole body, reaching your fingertips, breathing into that space. And maybe you engage some gentle, just non-linear movement, just really nourishing that body that's speaking, sending it nourishment through movement and through breath and attention. My kiddos might be coming in and out, so you might hear that. And then when you're ready, gently moving to the opposite side, really grounding in that hand that's on the floor and feeling what you feel, receiving nourishing movement, nourishing breath. Maybe you start to feel yourself unwinding or wanting your body to move in specific ways. And I invite you to follow that. If you're having a hard time connecting with what might feel good for you, that's a space where you can bring in Jesus. Help me know, help me listen, help me feel. I invite you to spend a few more breaths here, just finding what feels good. To me, it can feel like just flowing through water, feeling that kind of that oneness that you feel in water, that connection to everything, because it's so close, right? It's just all around you, it's engulfing you. So feeling that, maybe that feeling, that unity of your being, and just letting the movement flow in ways that feel good. And then checking in. Maybe you pause and breathe and notice how that feels in your body. Jesus would often go to the forgotten people. And I think sometimes about that with our bodies, there are parts of our bodies that feel like, oh, I forgot about you. Let me just give you some TLC. Let me give you some love. So maybe there are parts of your body or your spirit that need a little love, or a lot. And if you're needing some more ideas, maybe you come onto your hands and knees. Finding the alignment that feels good for you. Maybe your wrists under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. Maybe you just play here for a little while. Or you start with some cat cows and that moves into play for you. Tucking your belly button and your chin, lifting your hips. And then lifting your chin, belly button toward the floor. Lifting your hips in a different way this time. Breathing, making any sounds that you feel like you need to make. Just allowing your body to release anything that it's been holding for you. Our body's such a gift. It holds so much for us. But it also can release when it's ready. Handing it over to Jesus, to the earth, to the universe, to whatever makes sense and feels right for you. For me, it feels like tapping into flow as I start to find intuitive movement. Not really thinking, just allowing movement to happen. Allowing that life force to just flow through me or start to flow through me unencumbered. When I first started to do movement like this, I was in my teacher training and it felt really uncomfortable and like maybe not allowed. And I think that was I know, that was a lot of my cultural training. So if you're feeling that at all, know that you're not alone, and to have compassion on yourself, with yourself, and you feel or imagine what is best for you and what your heavenly parents or your savior might say to healing, nourishing movements. Being okay and good for you. Maybe you make your way down towards a child's pose. Using your breath to release anything into the earth. In this shape, I like to feel things just flowing out of my heart into the earth. It's an amazingly generous container and can recycle what you don't need anymore. Wherever you are, maybe feeling your body fill up with breath as if you're undenting or filling up from the inside out. Filling up with that prana, that life energy, that love of Christ, that light. One of the scriptures that's been on my mind for this gathering has been from John. Christ says, I am come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly. So maybe as you're moving and breathing, knowing that Christ wants you to have life more abundantly, to have this life energy, this light and love flowing through you abundantly. How can you make more space for that abundance? Listening to your body and moving in a way that feels good. Coming back seated, bringing my feet together. Spending some breaths just breathing into my feet, massaging my feet. Sending that life energy into my feet. And then gently making my way down. As far as feels good. Breathing into those parts of your body that are speaking to you, that are communicating. And maybe you find some non-linear movement here. Maybe you stay in the center or you come to one side. Moving to the other side when it feels good. Right. Again, listening to your own self and what you need. Every body is different. Maybe you bring one leg out to the side. And maybe you rub along spots that feel tight. Loosening up that fascia. All of this is fascia work, this web of interconnection that runs through our body everywhere, that energy flows through. That probably prana and light of Christ flows through. So using your hands to massage or any movement helps to bring that fascia nourishment and flow. Good. I'm moving now to the other side. Beautiful. We'll do some movement for another couple minutes and then we'll move into our meditation. So if you want to follow along with me, do your own thing, meet me somewhere in the middle. I'm going to come now back to my hands and knees, lift my hips, tuck my toes, and scoot my hips up into the air. I like to bend my knees here, pressing my heart toward my knees. My fingertips and the bottom of my palm and my thumb pressing in. There's a little hollowness under my palm. Maybe I pedal my heels. Again, finding that non-linear, just intuitive movement here. Maybe you move more quickly, or maybe there's a spot where you say, oh, and you breathe there. I like to plant one of my feet, lifting the other one up and then letting it flop over. See if you can see it to the other side. Opening up that side body. And then the opposite side. And then elephant walking. Elephant meaning like grounded and strong. My feet up to my hands. And then letting my torso hang down. Maybe I take my hands and massage the backs of my legs, or even up on the inside of my lower back. I'm going to tap. Open up and loosen. Releasing and receiving. Abundance of life energy. Okay, those who are following along, we're just going to end with a final kind of rolling up to standing meditation experience. So I invite you to, there's a loud sound, so hopefully you can hear me. I invite you to ground your feet in, and however feels good to you, roll and grow up to standing. I like to inhale slowly, feel the strength coming up from the earth through my legs, up to my core where I exhale. My awareness is here. And then I inhale as that awareness and strength flows up through my heart, through my hands, and exhale back down to my heart. And then we're going to bounce our hands up. If you want to, inhaling up, opening them up to the sky. Exhale, washing, pressing your heels of your hands down if you like, down. And then coming up to your heart. Good. Inhaling, lifting up. Exhale, washing down. Inhale, coming back to your heart. And exhaling here. Inhale, I like to bounce, lifting up. Exhale, washing down. And back up. Checking in with your body here, receiving your movement and your breath, and doing anything that feels good. Maybe you need to spread your legs a little wider and do some hip movements or dancing, letting your arms come up, whatever feels good for you. Just letting your body express, tapping into that innate healing power, that capacity of your physical body. A few more breaths here. If you want to join me, I'm going to balance out those other breaths, which are fine just on their own too, with lifting up first and out. And then bringing my hands back down to my heart. Opening up to and engaging with life and love. And then bringing that down back into my heart and body. Or attaching whatever meaning or no meaning at all if you want to movement. And my last one here, I'm just going to leave my hands up in the air and do some figure eights. So taking my hands and taking them just in a figure eight. There we go, I found it. Pattern. Maybe you bring them together in this mudra here, hand yoga, and take that in a figure eight. Above your head. And then I like to engage some Tai Chi when I'm in these standing spaces. So I like to run the 10 dragons or 10 fingers through my hair. Breathing and releasing. Good. Then tapping above my forehead. Breathing in through my nose, exhaling through my mouth. On my cheekbones, under my eyes. Just clearing these spots for life energy to flow more freely. And under my collarbone here. And then the breastbone. And then the bottom of the rib cage on either side. Good. And then some gentle bouncing if you like. Just shaking, releasing. Feeling loose, as loose as you can. And then last, taking your hands across your chest, shoulder to hip. Breathing. And then if you can in the back, ideally I would be here and doing this on you. So maybe you imagine that I am. And then all the way down your legs. And then maybe back up to the top and just do one more all the way down. It's helping to release that energy that you don't need any longer, all the way down into the earth. Beautiful. Continuing to do anything that feels right for you. And if you want to, we'll now move into a meditation. You can have your body however feels good for you. Maybe you sit, lay down, lay on your side. And I invite you to, again, tune into your body, just receiving and feeling your body. If it feels different, how it feels different, what are the sensations? And I'm feeling so much gratitude, holding the scrambledness and the gratitude at the same time, but right now the gratitude is very strong for my body, for my breath, for my friends, for the earth. So maybe you're breathing in gratitude or whatever else is coming up for you. Be continuing to invite release, invite that Christ energy, that Christ love of being that way of not holding on to things anymore. Christ has made that way possible. A way of releasing and recycling and renewing. Breathing in fresh prana, fresh life energy and love and light. Filling you all the way. Taking the place of anything that's ready to release. And maybe you just stay here, focusing on your breath. Maybe you just rest in awareness. This present moment. And if you want to follow along with a somewhat guided meditation, you can. In that 10th chapter of John that I quoted earlier, before that abundantly line, he says, I am the door. By me, if any man or woman enter in, they shall be saved, and shall go in and out and find pasture. I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly. So maybe you imagine a beautiful door. Maybe Christ is the door. Maybe he's by the door. And this door just opens freely to you. If you choose to enter. And beyond that door is some beautiful, nourishing, abundant pasture, whatever that looks like for you. Or maybe it's something else that's beyond the door. How does it feel to walk past and through this door? Maybe you notice things about this door. Maybe you're already in this beautiful, nourishing, abundant pasture. And what is it? What is it like here? And what does it feel like in this pasture? This abundant, life-filled pasture. And maybe if Christ is the door, you are the shepherd entering into this pasture just for you and just for your sheep. Or maybe it's just you in the pasture. Whatever comes up for you, whatever feels loving and nourishing and abundant. And maybe in this pasture somewhere there is a beautiful stream, some kind of running body of water that you can hear. And it sounds so soothing to you. Maybe you just listen, or maybe you make your way over to this stream or this water. And this water is so pure and so crystalline, and so nourishing. You can just feel it by looking at it and hearing it. This water is healing water. Christ's love and energy and light flows so abundantly in this water. I invite you to engage with this water in whatever way feels and is best for you. Engaging with this cleansing, purifying, nourishing, delicious, abundant water. And maybe you stay here. Maybe you notice a tree near the water. A tree that just emanates strength and connection, grounding and holding, safety and protection. And whatever else this tree might mean for you, whatever else you might feel from this sacred tree. And I invite you to engage with this tree in a way that feels good and right. Hmm. And maybe you stay here, or maybe there's something else that you notice that you want to experience, or maybe someone wise and loving appears. That you want to talk with, or just be with. And knowing that you can come back to this pasture that Christ has prepared for you at any time. It's always here, waiting freely for you, full of abundance of light and love and life. And in a way that feels good to you, I invite you to thank this place, these people, if there was anyone there, for these beings. Thanking the tree, thanking the water, thanking the earth, the pasture, the wise and loving beings in a way that feels right for you. And maybe you feel your body, mind, and spirit filling up with what you feel in this place. With every breath, you fill up and it flows through you. And maybe you pass under the door again, through it, maybe stopping to pause and think or touch or engage with this door of Christ in any way that feels right for you. And I invite you to come back to noticing your body, noticing your breath, noticing the sensations within you and around you. Allowing your body, if you want to move in gentle ways that feel good as you start to wake up. Coming back, coming home, feeling what you feel, receiving and releasing. Breathing into your body, and we'll close with 3 alms again, and then I'll stop the recording, and anyone who wants to can share anything they want to, if they want to. If you want to join me or just listening, inhaling. And I'll leave you with a meditative song that I love to sing. And I'm wanting more Christ love and light within me and flowing in me. Abide 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 in me. Abide. Thanks for being here, my friends. It's really good to be with you. May peace be with you and yours. Namaste.